Hare Krishna. I offer my humble obeisances to all the devotees who have joined this session. Today we will discuss a story from the fourth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam that give us very valuable lessons on intensifying our sadhana, developing our determination in devotional service, and specifically developing our intensity in chanting the holy name of Krishna. The story of Dhruva Maharaj in the fourth canto of Bhagavatam gives us several lessons into the practice of devotional service. But today we will try to highlight how this episode of Dhruva Maharaj specifically helps us in chanting the holy names of the Lord. As all of you know the story, Dhruva Maharaj, as a 5-year-old boy, he was insulted by his stepmother Suruchi. Suruchi spoke very harsh words, very poisonous words, not at all being sensitive to the situation of Dhruva. He's a 5-year-old boy and he just had an innocent desire to sit on father's lap, which is very natural for any child. And he's being deprived of that opportunity. Is it appropriate? As a son, it is his right, it is his adhikar to sit on father's lap or father's throne. But Suruchi, out of her sheer envy towards Suniti, out of her intense pride in her own position as the favorite queen of the king, she just ridiculed and insulted Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva was devastated. 5-year-old boy being insulted in this way and not even being consoled by his father. And Suruchi was chastising him. Uttanapad was supposed to control her or at least pacify Dhruva as a father. He carried to this. And Dhruva's only shelter was his mother. And Dhruva went to his mother, Suniti. And Suniti consoled him. She said, "My dear child, my first advice to you is don't desire harm for others. Even if they have harmed you, still you should not desire harm for others. Second, please understand that whatever difficulties that you face in your life are because of your own past misdeeds. Third, whatever desire you may have, please take shelter of the Supreme Lord. I am just one mother, giving you the affection of one mother. But the Supreme Lord Krishna can give you the affection of millions of mothers put together. You better take his shelter. Tvameva vatsaashraya bhritya vatsalam mabukshubhirmrugyapataabcha paddhatim ananya bhave nija dharma bhavite manasya vasthapya bhajasva purusham. Your grandfather Manu has taken shelter of the Supreme Lord. Your great-grandfather Brahma has taken shelter of the Supreme Lord. Thus, your ancestors have taken shelter of Lord Vishnu. You follow in their footsteps. Mother Suniti did not quote the example of his father, Uttanapad. He's a devotee, definitely. But at that time, Uttanapad was a handpicked husband. He was a victim of his own undue attraction to his younger wife, Suruchi, so much so that he neglected his duty as a husband towards Suniti, who is a Vaishnavi, and also neglected his duty towards Dhruva, who is his son. He failed as a husband. Sometimes even devotees also may have certain weaknesses, certain shortcomings, and they may become a bit distracted in their performance of devotional service or their prescribed duties because of undue attraction towards Maya. And that Maya can manifest in any form. It could be in the form of attraction towards the opposite gender. It could be in the form of attraction towards wealth, fame. name, prestige, fan following. Somebody. Maya is very powerful. Maya attacked Bharat Maharaj through his own compassionate spirit. He was just compassionate on a little deer, motherless deer. As a king, he protected the planet for several thousand years. He's a king. But that same spirit of being the protector as a king entered to his mind even when he's living an ascetic life in the forest. He thought he's the protector of the deer. He's not. Although we are kings or we are multimillionaires, our bosses, our counselors, or mentors, or guides of other people in their bhakti, still we can't protect anybody. It is Krishna's protection that is protecting everybody. We are just representatives of the Supreme Lord, representatives of Krishna, humble, menial instruments in Krishna's hands. And as instruments in Krishna's hands, we may do some help or little favor to other people in their bhakti, but they are not the doers. Bharat thought that he is the doer, he is the protector. He wanted to show compassion in the deer. And that compassion became a distraction in his devotional service. And he had to enter an animal body in the next. So Maya can attack us in anything. Uttanapad Maharaj, although he's a nice devotee, still at this stage of his life, in this stage of his life, he was acting like a hypocrite husband, doing injustice to his other wife and also his little son. Anyways, Suniti told Dhruva, take shelter of the Supreme Lord like your grandfather and great grandfather did, like Manu and Brahma did. So, although Suniti Mata gave three advices, Dhruva could not digest the first. Don't desire harm for others, she said. But Dhruva actually wanted to take revenge on his stepmother Suniti. The second advice, Suniti said, please understand that you are experiencing difficulty only because of your own past mistake. Dhruva never thought, what a past mistake did he do? Why should I be treated like this? He was envious of his stepbrother Suttama, who is sitting on his father's lap. And he is also revengeful towards Suruchi, who sent it without telling anybody. Dhruva went to the forest with a great determination to worship the Supreme Lord. Then Narada Muni appeared there. To cut the long story short, when we are sincere enough to worship the Supreme Lord, even though without pure motives, still the Lord will heal us. If you worship the Lord with pure motives, that is great. But somehow little Dhruva, 5-year-old boy, innocent Kshatriya child, he could not worship the Lord with pure motives. Initially, he just heard from his mother that whatever desire you may have, you just worship the Supreme Lord. What is his desire? I was not allowed to sit on my father's throne, on father's lap. Now, I want to sit in a position which is superior to my great grandfather Brahma also. He became very ambitious. That should not be a desire. That should not be the motive behind worshipping the Supreme Lord. We need to worship the Lord selflessly, not selfishly. If the prayojan of our worship, if we decide according to our own material mentality, then what kind of worship is that? Prayojan, the scriptures decided. Prayojan, the Lord decides. What is the prayojan? Krishna prayojan. Premanam the adbhuta artha, the most wonderful prayojan or purpose of human life is to attain Krishna prayojan. But Dhruva did not ask for that prayojan. was his prayojan? What was his purpose? To attain a position superior to his great grandfather Brahma. With this desire, he wanted to worship Lord Vishnu. He entered the forest. But he had complete determination to do it. So the Lord understood this little child's determination. He inspired his devotee Narada Muni. Go and guide my devotee, little 5-year-old boy. Go and guide him in bhakti. Then Narada Muni came. Narada Muni asked, my dear child, where are you going? What is your purpose? While wandering in this forest is filled with so many ferocious animals. They may come and attack you. You may not even survive in this great forest. Then Dhruva said, Narada Muni, my stepmother has insulted me. She did not allow me to sit on my father's throne. Now, I have a desire to sit in a position superior to my great grandfather Brahma. Please, tell me some way, show me some means by which I can attain this result. Then Narada Muni said, oh, you wanted to worship the Lord. For this purpose, actually worshipping the Lord is not that easy. It's not so easy to worship the Lord. Many saints have tried, but they failed. You better go back home. You play. Actually, you're a small child. You're not supposed to take insults, honor and dishonor, respect and disrespect so seriously. You better go back home. But Dhruva was not easy. Dhruva was very ambitious. And it's a long discussion. But I want to come to the main point of holy name here. Narada Muni told Dhruva, my dear Dhruva, I understand your ambitious desire. All I'm trying to tell you to go back home, but you're not in the mood to go back home. But I understand your determination. So I will teach you the method of worshipping the Lord. Go to Vrindavan. Go to a forest called Madhuban. Sit on the bank of Yamuna and you start chanting. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And meditate on the form of the Lord. Meditate on the pastimes of the Lord. Then Dhruva went. What great determination he had. He came on the bank of Yamuna. He was not even eating properly. There was a great description of his austerities, how he performed austerities. But the focus is not on the austerity, but the focus is more on what he did. He did an absorbed chanting of the name Vasudeva. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. He chanted the holy names of the Lord with great determination, without any distraction in the mind. Whenever we feel a sense of distraction in our mind while chanting the holy names of Krishna, we need to pull the mind back. Just like a mother pulls a distracted child back into her lap, and not mother wouldn't allow the child to grab any object that is harmful to the child. The child is playing with a toy, mother will say, okay, fine, take it. But if the child is holding a knife, mother will say, hey, don't touch it. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yato yato nischalati manaschanchalamastiram tatastato niyamyaitan atmanyeva vasham naye. Wherever the mind wanders, try to pull it back. Allow the mind to focus on the holy name of Krishna. It's easier said than done. I also find it very difficult to pull the mind back and focus on the holy name when the mind is getting distracted by 10 different thoughts. 100 different thoughts. Still, we should try. Let's try. But if you can manage to bring the mind back, pull the mind back, and focus on the holy name by the grace of Krishna, by the grace of Parampara, that would be an ecstatic experience of chanting the holy names. Because chanting the names of the Lord is done most effectively only with concentration. But even without concentration, if we chant, still the Lord will show some mercy, no doubt, because we're chanting. But let us speak of chanting with concentration. And Dhruva exhibited a great example of concentration. He was completely focused on his goal. Of course, his goal was attaining a position superior to great grandfather Brahma. That was his prayojan. But in his Abhideya, he is extremely focused. Abhideya is chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya for him. Because of his absorption in Abhideya, although his Sambandha was a bit weak. What is the Sambandha? Sambandha means you understand uh, your position, the Supreme Lord's position, and your position in relationship with the Supreme Lord's position. That is Sambandha Jnana, in one sense. But what was the Sambandha of our Dhruva? He saw the Lord as a wealth giver, as a boon bestower. He did not see the Lord as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, object of my worship. He only saw that if I worship Him, He will give me wealth. He will give me position. He will give me the position of a position which is superior to my great grandfather Brahma also. That was his understanding. He's only seeing the Lord as the provider of wealth and position. Different devotees approach the Lord for different purposes. As Krishna himself says, Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukritino arjuna arto jignasurathati gnani cha bharatarshabha. Arta. Arta bhakta is one who seeks relief. Chaturvidha bhajanti mam. Out of the four categories of people, one category is one who approaches the Lord out of distress. They are relief seekers. They go to temple just for relief, shanti with that. That is their understanding. Not so much devotion. They have some little devotion probably, but the main purpose of going to a temple is to attain peace of mind, relief from anxiety. Jignasu, they're curious. They're curious about everything. They're curious about politics also, they're curious about sports also, they're curious about movies also, they're curious about God also. Jignasu. Artharthi means artha, money. They're wealth seekers. They are prosperity seekers. The first category is a relief seeker. Third category is prosperity seeker, wealth seeker, artha. And fourth is jnani, a wise person. He understands something about the Lord. Okay, let me just worship him, approach him. These are four categories. All four categories, although they are great personalities because they approach the Krishna, they are not pure devotees. At this stage of his spiritual life, Dhruva Maharaj is a wealth seeker. He belongs to the third category, artharthi. He wanted position, prosperity, wealth, name. For that purpose, he came to the Lord. He was chanting the holy names, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, his sambandha is weak. His prayojan is weak. The purpose of his worship is weak. The understanding that he had about the Lord also, he understands that he is a supreme Lord because Narada Muni taught him. But he saw the Lord more as a wealth provider than the supreme personality of Godhead, Akhila Rasamrita Murti. He was not seeking a rasa with the Lord or relationship with the Lord. He's not seeking to serve the Lord, but he's seeking to get something from the Lord. That was his understanding. But although his sambandha is not that great, although his prayojan is material, Abhidaya was perfect. Pakka. He chanted Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya on the bank of Yamuna in Vrindavan Dham, perfectly following the instructions of Narada Muni. Proper Guru Nishtha. My Guru told me like this, I will follow it. This is the holy name, I will chant with full concentration. No distraction. Ananyas chintayanto mam yajanaha paripasata. He did that. No other chinta. It's not that after chanting for 1 month, Dhruva was not thinking, when will I get my prayojan? When will I get position superior to the Supreme, to Brahma? He was not thinking like that. Although he began with that motive, He was not meditating on the motives. He was meditating on the process of meditating on the Lord, process of chanting the holy names of the Lord is so pure that even if somebody had some material motives in the past, the motives are completely eradicated. Initially, Dhruva was having ill motives, very poor material mentality, revengeful attitude, not just wealth seeker, he's also revenge seeker. It's like in the third canto of Bhagavatam, Lord Kapila describes three types of bhakti. They are tamasic bhakti, rajasic bhakti, and sattvic bhakti. Tamasic bhakti means bhakti in the mode of tamogun, in the mode of ignorance. Bhakti is never tamasic. Bhakti is never rajasic. Bhakti is never sattvic. But the person who is performing bhakti can be tamogun, rajogun, sattvagun. Such a person's bhakti is called tamasic bhakti. If somebody is performing bhakti uh, with revengeful attitude, with envy towards others, desiring destruction of others, that bhakti is called tamasic bhakti. They may be worshipping the Supreme Lord, that is tamasic. And if someone is worshipping the Lord for prosperity, wealth, name, fame, prestige, position, privileges, then it is called rajasic bhakti. Dhruva had these two shades. And if somebody is seeking liberation by performing bhakti, that is called sattvic bhakti. Dhruva does not belong to sattvic. He has tamasic shades and rajasic shades. And is artha bhakta, artharthi bhakta. So this is how Dhruva worshipped the Lord. But still, his bhakti is better. Nirguna bhakti or bhakti which is devoid of influence of any material modes is like this. Madguna sruti matrena mayi sarva guhashaye manogatira vichanna yatha ganga bhasombudam. Madguna sruti matrena. Just by hearing the qualities of Krishna, mayi sarva guhashaye manogatira vichanna. Mind completely flows towards Krishna. Somebody says Krishna is so merciful, kamvadayalam saranam vrajema. Mind just flows towards Krishna. Somebody says Krishna is so beautiful. Mind just runs towards Krishna. Somebody says Krishna is so grateful. Mind just runs towards Krishna. Just like Ganga flows naturally towards the ocean, similarly, a devotee's mind also naturally flows towards Krishna. That is pure bhakti. But if somebody is coming to Krishna, seeking wealth, seeking name, seeking prosperity, seeking relief from anxiety, seeking revenge on somebody, so that is not pure bhakti. And Dhruva began like that. But the recommendation of Srimad Bhagavatam is Akamaha sarva kamo va moksha kama udaradhihi tivrena bhakti yogena yacheta purusham param. Akamaha sarva kamo va. Akama means you have no material desires, no material ambitions. Sarva kamo va, you have all kinds of material ambitions. Moksha kama, you are specifically desiring liberation. Whatever may be your situation now, condition now, Krishna Katha will be replaced. Krishna Bhakti will be replaced. Krishna Nam will be replaced. Tivrena Bhakti Yogena Yajeta Purusham Param. You worship the Supreme Lord, although you are Akami or Sarvakami or Mokshakami, no problem. Background doesn't matter. Whatever may be your background, you can worship the Supreme Lord. Dhruva, with this motive, he worshipped the Lord. With a revengeful attitude in his mind, he wanted to take revenge on his stepmother. He was very envious of his stepbrother, Uttama, who was sitting on his father's lap. And Uttama got that privilege of sitting on father's lap, and I didn't have that privilege. Dhruva was feeling very disappointed. He was envious. I'm not sitting there. There's envy. With envy towards his brother, great revengeful attitude towards his stepmother, with great ambition to attain a position superior to great grandfather Brahma, he worshipped. But the worship, the chanting of the holy name was fully focused, completely concentrating on it. So when you have focus in Abhideya, whatever flaws you have, whatever defects or deficiencies you have in your Sambandha Jnana, they are eradicated. When you have complete focus in Abhidheya, whatever wrong understanding of Prayojan you have, that is also eradicated. His Prayojan was not clear. His Sambandha is not that great. He has, but not much. But he gave a stop. It's full focus without any distraction in his sadhana. He is chanting the holy name. So intense sadhana. He is doing Tivra Bhakti. And thus, to cut the long story short, Dhruva Maharaj could completely capture the Supreme Lord within his heart. And because of that, entire universe also got some. All the devatas went to Lord Vishnu and said, "Oh, Supreme Lord, what's happening? Why Dhruva Maharaj? Why we are experiencing this situation?" Then the Lord said, "I will go to Dhruva and do the need. You don't worry." So Dhruva, in Madhuvan, he was meditating on the Lord, chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And his heart is completely absorbed uh, in, in experiencing the vision of the Supreme Lord in his. Then his heart was able to see Lord. So at one point, his meditation broke. He could not see the Lord anymore. He became very perturbed. He opened his eyes. The form of the Lord that he was seeing within his heart till now, he was able to see his in front of his eyes. The Supreme Lord, along with Garuda, manifested in front of Dhruva. And Dhruva Maharaj became so overwhelmed. He became so excited to see the beautiful form of the Lord. He did not know what to do, being in an inexperienced state. When the Lord stood in front of him, 5-year-old Dhruva did not even have the maturity or experience or ability to even offer a prayer. He did not know what to say. You see, he heard little bit about the Lord's form. He had some idea of the Lord's form, as given by Naradaman. He did that process of chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya for a while. 6 months. So that's all he knew, not much. And he knows 50 qualities of the Lord, Karunam, Ravani, Yanga, Paramoshana. So he had some understanding of the Lord's qualities and Lord's form, and he chanted the holy names. But beyond it, he does not have so much of philosophical knowledge. He does not know how to glorify the Lord. Being a 5-year-old child, he does not have even proper vocabulary or experience or ability to compose proper sentences nicely to glorify the Lord. But Dhruva wanted, he spontaneously developed a desire to glorify the Lord. Spontaneously, he wanted, oh, I want to praise the Lord. But words were not coming. Emotion was there. Sometimes, although we have pure emotions, the emotions cannot take the form of expressions or actions. Because emotions are there, but the medium of expression is very less. Small child, although he or she may want something, they don't have the ability to express it. So parents have to understand what they want. They have to guess. And because of close connection, they may even kind of understand and guess it right also. But sometimes communication is very poor. Dhruva also could not communicate his feelings. He had feelings. When you don't know the language, you cannot express your emotions. You go to a foreign land where people are speaking a language that you don't know. You cannot express your emotions there. Dhruva, being a 5-year-old child, although by sincere performance of holy name, performance of bhakti, and by sincerely chanting the holy names of Krishna for 6 months, he developed feelings for the Lord. He developed emotions for the Lord. And now he's seeing the Lord also. He was overwhelmed with emotions. This is what bhakti can do to us. This is what chanting can do to us. So Dhruva Maharaj wanted to glorify the Lord. Lord understood. Oh, he has no ability to glorify me, but no problem. I will empower him. He took his conch shell and touched his forehead. And just by the touch of the conch shell of the Lord, entire Vedic knowledge has been revealed to Dhruva within his heart. Just like the Lord revealed entire Vedic knowledge to Brahma in the beginning of the creation. Tene Brahma Hridayadi Kavaye Muhyanti Yat Surayah. So Brahma was enlightened by the Supreme Lord Vishnu, right in the beginning of creation. Similarly, the same Lord Vishnu, Hari, uh, enlightened Dhruva in this current context. So Dhruva, now at the age of 5, he was completely equipped with an understanding of all the Vedic scriptures. With that understanding, he started glorifying the Lord. Yontah pravishya mamavachamimam prasupta sanjeevayatyakila shaktidharah swadhamna अन्यांश हस्तचरण श्रवण त्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं यो अन्तः प्रविश्य. O Lord, you have entered within me. With the touch of your conscience, your Shakti has entered me. And you have enlivened all my senses. Mama vacha mimam prasuptam sanjeevayati. You have enlivened all my senses. Akhila Shakti dharaha swadhamnam. You are possessor of all Shaktis. Anyams, not only power of speech, not only you have enlivened my power of speech, not only you made me capable of speaking your glories and praising you and offering prayers, you have also enlivened my other senses. Hasta, hands, charana, legs, Shravana, ears, Swadhyaya, sense of touch. All are enlivened. All have come back to life. What does it mean? Till now, Dhruva did not speak anything. He spoke so many things in front of Narada. Till now, Dhruva did not see anything or touch anything. Why he is saying my senses have become alive now? Till now, they are like dead. The answer is simple. Till the time we engage our senses in Krishna's service, the senses are considered dead only. We need to engage our senses in Krishna's service, and that is the right utility of senses. Harshikena Harshikesa Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. When the senses are engaged in the service of the master of senses, that is called bhakti. That will spiritualize the senses. So Dhruva felt a sense of spiritualization of the senses. Then he offered so many other prayers. One prayer is that Yanirvritistanuvritam tava pada padma dhyanam bhavajjana shravanena vasyat sa brahmani swamahimanyaphi nathamabhu kim tvantakasirulita patatam vimanat yanirvritihi tanuvritam tava pada padma. If at all we have to attain some happiness, that happiness can be attained only in two ways. First is Tavapada Padma Dhyana, by meditating on the Pada Padma lotus feet. Tavapada Padma Dhyana, Bhavajjana Katha Shravanena Vasyat. Second is by hearing Krishna Katha from devotees. Only two ways of attaining happiness. In this way, Dhruva Maharaj offered this prayer, and later he specifically aspired for another benediction from the Lord. What was that? Bhaktim muhu pravahatam tvayi me prasango bhuyadananta mahatam amalashayana yenajya solbana muru vyasanam bhavadhyam neshye bhavad gunakatham pritapana mattaham bhaktim muhu pravahatam tvayi me prasango. Oh Lord, I just want the association of your devotees. In the association of your devotees, there is great opportunity to hear Krishna Katha because they are constantly discussing about Krishna. The best activity that devotees can come together and do is Krishna Krishna. Matchitta madgata prana bodhayantah parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam dushyanti cha ramanti cha. Who are devotees? Krishna defines the symptoms of devotees. A devotee is one who simply sits with other devotees and discusses Krishna. Bodhayantaha parasparam. Bodhayantaha parasparam means enlightening each other with Krishna's glories. That is a devotee. Kathayantascha mam nityam, perpetually they are discussing Krishna katha. Nothing else. Tushyanti cha ramanti cha, with great happiness, with great excitement, with great happiness, satisfaction. They are discussing Krishna katha. I want their association. It is just not easy. Why did Dhruva perform this tapasya? Why did Dhruva chant the holy names of Krishna? Why did he chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, perform austerities on the bank of Yamuna for 6 months to take revenge on his stepmother, being envious of his stepbrother, to attain a position superior to his great-grandfather Brahma? That was his purpose. What is he praying for now? He began bhakti with some purpose and then he came and doing something else, asking something else. You went from, what is this place? Richmond. You went from Richmond to DC, for example, to take darshan of the deities. But instead of doing that, you are asking for something else. You are going somewhere else. Then you come back and people at home will ask you, did you get the purpose? Did you complete the work for which you have gone all the way to DC? After that, I forgot that I did something else and came. So Dhruva came, Dhruva chanted Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva for some purpose. But now he is not asking for that at all. He forgot all the desires that he had before. All the material desires, revengeful thoughts, envious thoughts, ambitions, material ambitions he had earlier are completely eradicated by sincere chanting of the holy names of Krishna. You see, when you sincerely chant Krishna's names, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva in this case, in our case, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When there is sincere absorption in chanting, at least when there is a sincere desire to get absorbed in chanting, and with that desire we are trying to chant, then all our material desires will be removed. All our revengeful thoughts, envious thoughts will be completely vanquished. All that Dhruva did is just 6 months of chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. His envy is gone, his revengeful attitude is gone, his material ambitions are gone, he doesn't want any prosperity. He is not an Artharthi Bhakta anymore. His bhakti is not tamasic bhakti anymore. His bhakti is not rajasic bhakti anymore. What is his bhakti? It's pure bhakti. But guna sruti matrena, vai sarva bhasye. That's what he's saying. Neshye bhavad guna katha amritapana mattaha. I just want to get intoxicated by hearing your gunas, your qualities from your devotees. That is Madguna Sruti Matrena. He became Nirguna Bhakta. So Tamasic Bhakti, Rajasic Bhakti, Sattvic Bhakti, Nirguna Bhakti. We discussed 4 types of Bhakti in the beginning, as mentioned by Kapila in his teachings to Mother Devahuti. So initially, our Dhruva Maharaj had these Tamasic shades and Rajasic shades. He did not have even Sattvic or Nirguna shades. But now he transcended this Tamasic stage of Bhakti and Rajasic stage of Bhakti. He surpassed Sattvic stage of Bhakti also. He's not even desiring liberation. He only wants to hear Krishna Katha. He only wants to hear Krishna's qualities. Guna Sruti Matrena Mai Sarva Bhashe. How did this happen? Chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya for 6 months. 5-year-old child. If 5-year-old child can experience that level of purification by chanting the holy names of Krishna for 6 months, how much purification can an adult attain? With full understanding, with proper understanding of Sambandha Jnana, with proper understanding of Tattva, Leela. Now we have access to Prabhupada's too. We have access to Srimad Bhagavatam. We have access to so many spiritual privileges. We can go to Vrindavan, we can go to Mayapur, we have all literature with us, we have deities, we are serving the deities, we have association of devotees, everything. We have Prabhupada's grace has given us so many things in life. But if we underutilize them or misuse them, we are depriving ourselves of the good fortune of attaining Krishna Prema, the real Prayojan. Krishna says in Uddhava Gita, the 11th canto Bhagavatam, Nridehamadyam sulabham sudurlabham plavam sukalpam guru karanadhar mayanukulena nabhasvateritam puman bhavabdhim nataretsa atmaha. Nridehamadyam sulabham sudurlabham. We got this Nrideha, human body. Sulabham, sudurlabham. Somehow we got this body very easily, although it is very rare to attain this human form of life. So we all have human body. Then Guru Karana Dharam, we have access to a Guru, a bona fide Vaishnava Guru, who is like a captain of boat. This human body is like boat, and this material existence is like ocean. So we need to cross this material ocean, and we have a strong boat called the human body. Secondly, we also have access to Guru. He's like the captain of the boat. Third, Mayanukulena Nabhasvate Ritam. Anukula Nabhasva means Anukula, favorable winds. Favorable winds also will help a boat nicely go across the ocean. Despite having access to these three scriptures, scriptures are considered the favorable winds. Scriptures, Guru is the captain of the ship. Human body is the ship itself. Human body, Guru, scriptures. We have all three. Still, Kuman Bhavabdhim na taret sa atmaha. Such a person who would not utilize these three privileges to cross over the material existence is called Atmaha, a killer of soul. A killer of soul. So this is the misfortune of Kali Yuga people. But still, we need to understand that there is hope for all of us. We can become helpless in bhakti, but we need not become hopeless in bhakti. We still have hope. We may not be able to demonstrate such a high level of determination like Dhruva Maharaj, but still we can do our bit. Our sincere parishan. We may not be the best. We can try our best. We may not go to the forest and stand on one leg and chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya with no fear of ferocious animals. Dhruva could do that. But by hearing Dhruva's story, we can just get some inspiration and then chant the holy names of Krishna with absorption. All our material desires will be eradicated. All our envious attitude and all the subtle and gross anarthas can be eradicated. To the degree we embrace the process of Abhideya. He did Abhideya nicely. His Sambandha was not so great, perfect. His Prayojan is really very poor, but his Abhideya was very perfect. He embraced the Abhideya process nicely. And he had blessings of his mother, Sunita. He had blessings of his Guru, Narada Muni. He personally had great determination. So with his own determination, with the blessings of his mother and Guru, he sincerely chanted the holy names and he became purified in just 6 months. And there's much more in Dhruva's story about the holy name. We will discuss that tomorrow. We'll take some questions. The time I totally 7:58 o'clock already. Already. Okay. We'll continue Dhruva's story tomorrow.
Okay. So yeah, if anyone has any questions, you can please raise your hands and you can ask your question. I have one question. So we also hear this verse many times from Bhagavad Gita, Ye yathamam prapadyante tam tataiva bhajamiham. So which actually talks about how we approach Krishna, so reciprocates accordingly. So in this case of Dhruva, he approached Krishna with some desire. So how come Krishna responded differently or changed or, transformed his desire?
Dhruva approached with a material desire, but also approached with great determination.
Determination for material desire.
But his absorption Abhideva is good. That's what desire is the sambandha. Determination is the Abhideva. So his absorption in the process is pure. That's why bhakti purified his desires. Somebody may do sakama bhakti. Sakama bhakti means worshipping the Lord with some material desires, material expectations. The process of bhakti, if it is performed nicely, it can purify of the sakama tendencies. When you do sakama bhakti, bhakti will remain, sakama will go away. That's what happened in Dhruva Maharaj's case. Although the Lord reciprocates with the desire of a devotee, ethama prapadyante, still the process is performed sincerely, right? So there's a purification. Otherwise, if the Lord has to stick to only the desires of people and reciprocate only with their desires, then what will bhakti do? Then everybody who wants will get that only. Of course, the Lord fulfilled the material desires of Dhruva also. Suruchi will die soon, he will attain Dhruva Loka soon. But the Lord fulfilled Dhruva's desires in such a way that he doesn't relish that fulfillment anymore. It's like you are asking for some, say the child is asking for some unhealthy food, junk food or something like that, which is not suitable for the health. The mother would feed the child, not that food. She says, I will give you that chocolate. Child is not good for him. He's not supposed to eat, but still, he's asking for chocolate. What will the mother do? I will give you the chocolate, but before that, can you eat this chapati? Can you eat this sabji? Can you eat this roti? Can you eat this gulab jamun? Can you eat this sweet? And can you eat that healthy item, Krishna Prasadam? Like that, mother will feed the child's belly completely. And finally, if the child is shown the chocolate, there's no gap left. It's already full. Belly is already filled with so many things. He has no taste for it anymore. No, enough. I have eaten so much. I mean, I can't think. I cannot take anything. So when you go with a material desire to the Lord will fill your heart with so much of loving ecstasy, so much of pure spiritual satisfaction that you don't have any taste left for the material desire that you have aspired for before anymore. The Lord will reciprocate with you in such a way that your excitement for a material desire is completely eradicated. And even if the Lord offers you that material boon that you wanted, that wealth or whatever, prestige or position, you don't relish it anymore. Because the Lord has filled your heart with a higher taste. Just like the child will say, oh my God, this sweet Krishna Prasadam is much better than this chocolate. He will give up taste for chocolates and he will take this only, Krishna Prasadam only. So the Lord will give you something higher, much better, that you will give up taste for lower things. So yathamam prapadyante is there, definitely. That is to give us a caution not to purify our material desires. Now, one of the lessons from Dhruva Maharaj's episode is that don't approach the Lord with material desires. Otherwise, you'll have to regret like Dhruva. Dhruva regretted so much. Dhruva felt so bad. My God, why did I desire like this? Why did I desire harm for my stepmother? Why did I desire a position superior to great grandfather Brahma? The Lord has given all these boons. But Dhruva was not happy with them. So if we have material desires, we'll have to regret like Dhruva later. But the Lord also takes the responsibility of a devotee who sincerely renders devotional service and purifies any material desires that the devotee has. Let me just eradicate these material desires. After all, he's doing bhakti sincerely. His following of the process is very pakka, very sincere. So let me remove whatever material desires he has. So in Sakama Bhakti, if you do Sakama Bhakti also, Bhakti will remain, Sakama will go away for a period of time. Lord is our well-wisher. Yathamam prapadyanti is correct, but the Lord does more than that. If a child goes to the shop, I want cigarette, take this money. Yathamam prapadyanti. You give me that as much money as the cigarette costs, and the shopkeeper will give. But if the child goes to the parents, father, I want cigarette, father will give a slap. May not be slap, but chastisement says, no, you are not supposed to take this. There, whatever the child asks, the father will not give. Shopkeeper can give. Father will not give that. The father will consider, is it good for the child or not? Is it harmful or beneficial? If it is harmful, I will not give. So God is like that. Okay. We'll conclude here.
One more. So also, as you talked about the concentration or absorption of Dhruva Maharaj for holy names, it feels like it came from Guru Nishtha. So Guru Nishtha and Nam Nishtha was present for Dhruva Maharaj, and that's why he was so much absorbed in holy names for 6 months. So where did that Guru Nishtha and Nam Nishtha came in to Dhruva Maharaj, without any...
One is mother's blessings.
Mother's blessings.
Secondly, he has his own Kshatriya spirit. Determination is one of the aspects of a Kshatriya. He got a very good opportunity or a reason to dovetail the determination in devotional service. Determination. A devotee is fortunate enough, a devotee gets an opportunity even to utilize one's material qualities, material faculties in Krishna's service. So Dhruva got that opportunity to dovetail his natural Kshatriya spirit of determination in devotional service by the guidance of his mother and his teacher, Guru. Somebody is very artistic, naturally artistic. Somehow that artist is engaged by some devotee in painting Krishna pictures or Radharani pictures or Mahaprabhu pictures. So, and by making that painting, he may please hundreds and thousands of Vaishnavas. He himself may get absorbed in the form of the Lord by meditating on the beautiful darshan of the Lord. Like that, although we may have certain material skills, still, if we get an opportunity to dovetail those material skills in Krishna's service, we'll get purified.
Wow. Okay, so looks like just one. So there is one question from Sri Ramananda Rai Prabhu. Should we consult devotee before expressing burning desire to the Lord so that unfavorable desire will be properly directed?
You can do both. Not an issue. You can always go to the Lord and express your heart. Absolutely no restriction. At any time, any place, you can express your heart to the Lord. And as far as expressing it to the devotees is concerned, you may have certain practical constraints sometimes. The Lord is more accessible. You can go in front of the deities. You can access the Lord in the form of holy name. He can express. But to get a proper acknowledgement and analysis and guidance, you need to approach a devotee only. A devotee's time may be limited. The Lord is always accessible. You can lie down also and remember the Lord and then express your heart to the Lord. But a devotee may have to take an appointment to, I want to say something, share something. But while expressing your heart to a devotee, especially when you are expressing what material desires you may have, what shortcomings you may have, and seeking help, The Lord who is sitting in the heart of the devotee will notice how humble you are. You're humbling yourself in front of a Vaishnava. The Lord will help you more.
Wow.
When you only express to the Lord, because you're not getting any acknowledgement, you feel that, oh, I have expressed my desires, I expressed my shortcomings. But when you express in front of a devotee who knows, who can speak, who can chastise, who can correct, who can give us feedback, that act of expressing in front of a devotee will make us more humble and more committed to the path, more, what to say, advice and perspective we may get. The devotees may give more perspective to it. Uh, if we are unnecessarily getting overly depressed, the devotees will encourage us. Don't worry, it's okay. They will go after some time. You don't worry, like that. But if we are doing something very grossly wrong, they will correct us. Or if we are really sincerely struggling with something, then devotees will help us. So we get help, we get advice, we get chastisement, we get correction, we get encouragement. All these things a devotee can offer to us. You just find some mature devotee. It could be a senior devotee or it could be your friend also. He could be an even equal also. Sometimes we get a lot of support even from equals. Not always a senior devotee. So senior devotees have their own ways of correcting us, protecting us, guiding us, and peers also have their own ways of helping us in our bhakti. So we have opulence of both. Even younger ones also will help us in some ways. So that's by assistance of Vaishnavas, we can grow nicely in bhakti.
Okay. Yeah, one more. What is the way, this is from Ramakrishna Prabhu, what is the way to maintain family life with Krishna Seva both simultaneously? I need some suggestion from Prabhuji.
Family life and Krishna Seva. When you are serving the family, that is also Vaishnava Seva. They are Vaishnavas. Right? Now you have nice children, Vaishnavas. So parents are serving the children and children are serving the parents. And whatever time you are spending them, whatever support or service that you are offering them physically, mentally, that's all Seva, Vaishnava Seva. And together you serve the deities. That is Krishna Seva with the family. They don't conflict with each other. Actually, for a devotee, there is no difference between material life and spiritual life. Even if a devotee is sleeping, that is only to rejuvenate the body so that the body is ready for the next service. Even if you are eating, that is to strengthen the body so that you can serve Krishna nicely. Even the basic physical bodily necessities of eating and sleeping also can become spiritual activities when we live a life dedicated to Krishna. So we need not consider serving the family or being with the family as a burden or as a distraction. Of course, we need to spiritualize our interactions as much as possible. Yesterday, as we were discussing in Gundicha Marjan, when devotees are just doing some trivial things, giving part and asking for part, they were chanting Krishna, 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 Krishna. Like that, our interactions with family members or friends and colleagues also can be made spiritual, can be more and more spiritualized by increasing the element of Krishna Nam and Krishna Katha in our interactions. Sitting together for prasadam, you may say, give me that item, give me that item. So many things you may say. So much of interaction happens. But sit together and discuss about Krishna. I read this, I heard this in this lecture, I read this in this book. So like that, if you can share about Krishna, even in your personal private conversations with family members or friends or colleagues, you can spiritualize those relationships. You can spiritualize those interactions. That's a great way of becoming Krishna conscious. And you spiritualize your interactions with family members and serve Krishna together. Along with the family members, you start serving Krishna. That's spiritual life. But if we keep the interactions with family or with friends on a material plane, then we see a difference between spiritual life and material life. But if we interact with family and friends also on a spiritual plane, both are same. Just like Pandavas and all the associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they don't have difference between material life, spiritual life, family life, and devotional life. It's all same. But devotees. Thank you very much.
Okay, so thank you all very much, and we'll continue this Dhruva session tomorrow, same time, same link. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.
Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
His Grace, Gauranga Darshan.